So we're welcoming us here to
G the Wiz. Hey.
Yeah, this is on the first Infidel Netwerk interview by video camera in too long. So we're here. G Wiz,
G the Wiz,
what's
yes.
your name in real life beyond the alias?
Legally, now this is something a lot of people don't. It's really hard to come by. It's Gurdar Duray.
Gurdar Duray? Did I say that right?
You can say it once, but then if I were to ask you tomorrow, you'd probably just forget.
Yeah,
so like I get other in high school I got like nicknames like Gurdar, and math teachers, peers. So it wasn't.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. So how long you been making music for?
It's been about 3 years now.
3 years.
3
Okay.
years since I started. Yeah.
Excellent. So what would you say would you be your biggest influences when it comes to starting your musical career? And how would you say that those influences played into your sound nowadays?
Well, do you want me to ask how it all started?
Yeah, there we go. That's
okay,
the best way to start.
Well, it's a really bizarre story because it was 2 weeks prior to my graduation commencement in high school. And I was walking to high school, and on Twitter I had a friend who was like, recommend me an album a week because I had 30-minute walks to school. Because transportation-wise it was just horrible. I couldn't bus or drive. So I was walking, and she gave me albums each week. First it was Godier, Kimbra, and then one day she hit me up with this guy. She's like, G-Eazy, and I was like, who's G-Eazy? And I was like, she's like, listen to it. Then I heard one song, and then downloaded his album, and then one day walking to school when I was listening to that album, I'm like, I know what I want to do now. I'm like, this artist had clashed a lot of past songs that into hip hop that I thought that might not be acceptable, but if there's a barrier in music and a genre and you can break it and it sounds good, go with it. And that's what I heard from his side. And then I went back to what I used to listen to, which was Chitty Bang and old stuff like Biz Markie and the comedian guys, Just a Friend kind of song, things that kind of have life moments within music, and I just kind of wanted to implement that in my stuff too. So after I graduated, I got a day job, selling donuts, and first thing I bought was a beat pad. No knowledge of how to use that thing whatsoever. I looked at it, I'm like, this is cool, let me take a photo of it. Now what, So I had to go through several YouTube tutorials before I kind of got the grasp of how to do things on my own, sampling and and stuff like that. And
so you're your own producer for your own beats as well?
yes, for the earlier part of it, I think on my first 3 releases, I produced all the music myself.
Holy crap! Not many people who actually are MCs these days take the time to craft their own beats. That's kind of a lost art nowadays. Even Dr. Dre here.
Exactly. it's like that. Talking about Dre, Dure, you take out UH. I honestly could have conquered the Dre name. You just take, because my last name is D-U-H-R-E. Take the UH, you get Dre.
Oh, there you go. You got your hidden sampler just built into your name. Your parents knew it subconsciously.
Right.
You're the sampling king.
Yeah, but it's true. But the producing part of it was really, the first time I started producing, it was really whack. I'll be honest, I just didn't like the sound I was producing. And then I was in Vancouver, it was raining, and then, for some reason, I started seeing the patterns in the program, how I can lay it out, because no tutorial had taught the way that I was about to do something. And then I went into the program, my first actual interface was FL Studio. And I went in there, and I'm like, okay, if there's a sound like this that I like from this artist, can I recreate something like that? And I tried playing with the tools that were already given in the program. I didn't buy any plugins, and I was able to recreate that. And once I got everything figured out, I'm like, possibilities are endless. I just kind of figured it out and trained myself. And then eventually, I had a roster of beats. I'm like, well, we need one more thing, a microphone and lyrics. And then boom, my first mixtape, My Life in Motion Picture, was released in 2014 in March. So
That's supposed to be a pretty exciting moment for you.
It was definitely it was interesting, and it was at that point I was really shy, putting my voice out there. But then I kind of broke through that barrier, and I needed to get a good album art, which is me standing like this from a wall behind what was Target and I was Walmart, and I needed a photographer. And that time I didn't hit up with a lot of people, so I was on Tinder, and there was a girl. And she wanted to hang out, and believe it or not, I did the most ridiculous thing. I'm like, do you want to do some photos?
What a way to propose a first date, eh?
I know, right? And she actually yeah, I would love to do that, right? So she took a bunch of photos, didn't know what I was doing, why I was posing like this behind an empty wall. But then I had some doodles that I did back in grade 11 in high school, and I kind of put that in Photoshop and made this whole kind of this animated dimensional kind of art look that looks like it's graffitied, but it isn't, and she never spoke to me again.
She saw that you were a nutball.
Yeah, pretty much. She was like, it's like, who is this guy? She just told me, she probably went home with all her friends like, yeah, this guy just handed me a camera and we went behind Target to take photos.
But you know what? You got to have that sort of like drive, and you have to have that ability, the confidence to go up to people and just ask them to do that. Expect them to be able to make it in his career.
I mean, exactly. You know, I was like,
she probably went on and told everybody about you there. No publicity is bad publicity.
Amen, preach. That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah. And yeah, so I've been working on stuff since then. Every day's kind of been like, you know, flexing different parts of like things I didn't know before, like programming music and whatnot. So, you know, hopefully I reached that place someday in my career, but I'm not sure whenabouts that might be. But you know, at this time, I still think there could be more to be done to make it better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, music is a continual evolution, you know, and that's like, honestly, one of the things I really like about hip-hop is like, more so than other genres of music, within hip-hop, you know, even within like East Coast or West Coast, you know, within those scenes, there's a huge variety in the sound. You'll hear like fat synthesizers in one track, and you hear like a soulful sort of like singer over top of like jazzy pianos in another track, and they're sampling everything from like industrial to rock to hip hop to our other hip hop tracks to like pop tracks, and featuring in collaboration. You know, they're the kings of it. You know, you don't need to have an amazing song. You just need to have like the most unique sounding song.
Yeah.
That's what's cool about it. It's more of a sound driven. It's a vision driven than more trying to like hit a certain melody or harmony, which has been played how many other times
Exactly.
before.
That's one of the struggles, is that, you know, trying not to make your sound the same as like, you know, 3 other songs that you made. You know, it's just, you know, once I hear that, I'm like, it's rap. I can't tolerate it. You know. And yeah.
Repetition can be a difficult thing to get over, but you know what? At the same time, if you really look at all music, everything has been done, and so you kind of have to get to a point where you're just comfortable with your music, and it's just like, I'm making music for the sake that I like it. And you don't have to release everything out to the public. Sometimes the tracks can just be for your own personal mixtapes. I'm sure you probably have a couple personal mixtapes that'll never get released to the public.
That's so fun. I have a close friend. He gives me hell for this one song I produced. And, you know, the worst part was this one I was starting, I recorded it in stereo. As we know, we should always record in mono. It was a really horrible song. And he still emphasizes 2 words from that song, which is "wait, what?" And he always comes back at me with that. And it was just this one song released on the internet. You know, if anyone who has it, please delete it, you know. You know, that's like blackmail content, you know. And I was like, and he's still on Skype calls, you know, he still jokes around it. So, Vince, you know what I'm talking about. If you have that song, you better delete it.
So, with your musical production, you know, you've done a lot of it yourself. Have you worked with other producers as well?
Recently I'm starting out doing that. I've never really reached out to producers to kind of help me with a beat. So far what I've done is that on my upcoming release, which will be Classic, it's titled Classic on April 6th, it has various internet producers. So stuff I found online from a catalog, and this whole tape was just put together in corresponding sounds to what things that sound alike. And I've seen a couple producers in there which I've honestly felt that their production level is so on point that I would even take my time to even go where they live and be like, you know,
work with them in their studio.
In their studio. Tell me you know, how you make your music. Let's make a good roster of something what you did here, and let's work with it till the end, you know. And there's some producers I felt like on that mix that I want to reach out and kind of go the length for that one, because it's kind of like I practiced, you know, doing different forms of hip hop, you know, like trap, and then there's this kind of pop rap kind of stuff, and they're both favorable, but you know, sometimes one always feels better to me, which is like this really melodic pop rap sound. And I guess it's just like the cheeriness of it, you know, and just like it just reminds me of summer, and I'm just like, I still love summer, you know. And then there's trap stuff which I still like to do. Those are like the crowd pleasers. Like, you know, when I listen to when the bass drops and stuff like that, I'm just like, like that was, that's it, you know. I was like, that's what I was waiting for. And then, you know, but you know, there's some producers I do want to head out and see and work with them on future releases. But for now, I mean, there is, you know, a lot of stuff that I haven't released yet, like instrumental wise, which will have a title for them, you know, in the future, because this Classic mixtape was really unexpected. I did not plan to release this until like 2 months ago, when I was done finishing my own instrumentals.
So have you ever thought about releasing your instrumentals off as maybe on one of these sites for selling off to other people, or do you currently do that already?
I do. I released them on SoundCloud, and I don't put watermarks on them. I give them straight, like, I think it's a WAV files on SoundCloud. There was a tape I recently released called "Nothing Beats This," and it was just full of instrumentals and a local rapper who was a friend of mine in high school, and he's kind of he's on the stepping ladders. He's getting out there. His name is Franks, and he's really doing a lot of stuff in hip hop. And he said, "Dude, these beats are awesome. Can I use some of them?" And I was like, yeah, sure, go for it. I didn't have any words for like those beats. That's why I released them. They were really good beats too. And yeah, I just give them out for free. I have never sold a single beat in my life, just for the sake that
help another independent people.
Exactly, yeah, because it's really hard, especially when I was trying to find beats. There's a lot of watermark stuff. I've got to pay like $150 for clearance. It's just like, I'll do it for some of the songs, but not all the songs, because we're all like, I'm on a tight budget, for all this stuff too. But for me personally, in my perspective, is that I always want to give another artist who is just like me that ability to kind of use their written ability, their writing ability to use, and if they can't make beats for themselves, use mine, go for it, I don't, as long as you credit somebody, you're good to go.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that accreditation will help you build a platform, because people will be like, oh, he's a producer, and they'll go check out you, and they'll be like, oh, not only is he a producer, he's a rapper, and then they'll start, because anyone who wants to produce rap obviously likes rap music.
Exactly, yeah.
Show a good rapper to other people.
Yeah, that's all it's been about. Yeah, just it's a good way to start. I think the beat tip had a lot of people downloading it, and then I think there was. I guess I haven't seen anyone rap over them yet, because I do frequently, keep tabs on like my name, like searching SoundCloud and see what comes up. So far, no one has, but it was like, just yesterday, someone actually on SoundCloud was like, "Where's that one beat you had on your page?" And I'm like, I had several before, but I kind of deleted them, and not deleted, but just put them on like unlisted, and I don't know which beat they were talking about, but it's so funny. It's like after I removed them, they were like hitting me like, "Where did it go?" And I was like, if I knew, I'd probably send it to them,
You were mentioning earlier that you have an album coming out in April?
Yes, I have a mixtape. I've never actually fully released an album, simply because, sampling rights and whatnot, but I do have a mixtape coming out. It's titled Classic. It'll be on SoundCloud on April 6th, 2016, and it is bound to have some classics, to say the least. I honestly feel like this mixtape has something that I have never released before. My past two mixtapes have been kind of, one was fun, one was personal, and then this one's a bit more kind of almost like it has like a concept, like an idea for it. And Classic is just the title I came up because I felt when I come back to this song, these songs, I'd be like, oh yeah, that song was such a classic, and I just personally just wanted to have that title so I can always remember it,
I'm so fucking sorry, dude. That is the shittiest thing ever. Hello? No, she's not here right now. They're not the mint ones, they're the vanilla ones, I think it might be vanilla chocolate, but I'm not entirely sure. Like the ones that have like the lines of both. Within the next hour to an hour and a half. Excellent, I'll let them know. Alright, I'll first later, Sherry. Bye.
Busy day.
All from my girlfriend. She's a very busy lady. So let's restart that question.
Sure.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Alright, so there's going to be a cutting seconds, leave a couple seconds of silence here. Alright, so you recently are going to have an album coming out in April.
Yes, I have a mixtape coming out April 6th. It's titled Classic. Has about 12 songs, various producers from the internet. Has some beats that clash like 50s and hip hop together. Again, it comes from the G influence, because I just looked up to his music so much growing up that I can't hide the fact that he is my what I've come to enjoy. And so yeah, it is coming out April 6th. It's something that I've never done before in terms of of like a concept of it, and it has this kind of classic feel to it. I even kind of incorporated like the front cover has like me with like this hairstyle going on, and it was just like embedded too, and that cover was actually gonna be used for something else, you know, and I had a different idea for that one. But I felt that the title Classic fit that so much because I knew in this mixtape I'm gonna be coming back in the future and being like, yes, some of these songs were like G's classic. Like, G the Wiz just had a few classic ones, and there were those songs from that album. So I kept it to classic, and I think my own recommendation of friends say like you should change it too much. You know,
never listen to a friend's recommendation about anything personal. That's like the one thing I had to learn about music.
And I was like, much? And I'm like, why much? And he's like, what? He's like, it's much different. I'm like, that's really funny. I'm like, and I think he saw it because I was wearing a jacket instead of much under, but I'm like, classic sounds better.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you.
Yeah, and I was like, even like the font, you know, it has been written like in a really nice font. And I had fun with this. Like the entire mixtape, you know, it's really fun. It's humorous. It's serious. And you know, I feel like, you know, when I was rapping most of the songs out there, I was using a much different flow, but more confident flow. I think I've slowly come to that point where, you know, it's just like
too easy in your voice.
Yeah, like I feel like, you know, there's no more, you know, boundaries. Whereas like, you know, if my brother hears me, you know, family hears me, you know, and you know, if anyone else hears me, so be it. You know, I'm like, this is awesome. That's what I just go with, and then and that was waited from when I started out. I'm like, is anyone hearing me rap? Because in high school, I was playing acoustic guitar.